didn't have an easy experience. And you know what the greatest honor I've ever received as a player is? In my 4th year and my 5th year, I was named team captain.
Just before Frizzell got him, and a leaping interception by Woodson, who got a foot down somehow inbounds.
Thomas, touchdown, Wolverine.
Nice call.
Here's a look at Boston and Woodson on the outside. They're just standing there, now they're fighting.
One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
Plant their flag in the middle of the Ohio State field, and the Buckeyes rushed right.
Play fake. McCarthy scanning downfield and throws it high, and Wilson's got it. Bowman Wilson weaving down inside.
There it is. They won't pull that down. Chris, as they say in Ann Arbor, conquering heroes, victors valiant, Michigan national champion.
Good morning, Wolverine Nation. And we're back for another Victory Sunday.
Victory Sunday.
Yes. And not only did Michigan take care of business with Wisconsin, if you stayed up late last night, you watched the Tigers take it in 11.
Zach McKinstry with a huge 11th inning.
There we go.
Yeah, it was a nail biter, that's for sure. And it was
and with Scuba going today, I like our chances.
I like our chances as well. You know, not being a Blue Jay fan after seeing the Blue Jays dismantle the Yankees, I was like, we really need a win tonight. We need a win so I can go to sleep a happy man. You know,
yes.
2 for 2 on the day. But huge wins from both our teams. I know this is a Michigan podcast, but having the Tigers in the playoffs 2 years in a row is exciting for a Michigan sports fan.
Especially for the Tigers, the way the season ended, and then we eliminated that terrible state of Ohio out of the playoffs. Always feels good. And happy victory Sunday to I think a team I don't think anybody's seen coming. UCLA.
Watched the whole game. Yeah. Watching Franklin on the sideline, just not knowing what to do against him. They showed a stat at the beginning of this game. The head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator are all different from 4 weeks ago at UCLA. They've all been let go, and then everyone's an interim. And they came out and they beat a team that was supposed to be like a playoff / national championship contender. But I think we all knew that Franklin wasn't going to get past any big games, but I don't think anyone saw this one coming. Even the announcers at the beginning of the broadcast were like, okay, Penn State's job here today is to blow out UCLA. Even though they lost last week, it was a big loss. Even though it was in double overtime, they are here to show who they are. And UCLA, you know, even if they don't win the game, they just want to like make sure that they can, which is the goal, to win the game. They're just here to try and show some sort of cohesiveness as a team. And then they come out on the first drive in like 7 plays and score a touchdown. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
No, it was I had it on leaving Ann Arbor, and they had the game on, and it was a little bit crazy. Like,
yeah, I was bouncing back and forth between this and the Yankees-Jays game. And then once the Jays started to run away with it, I just stopped watching that game and just focused on this game and was cheering for UCLA.
Now, I know Neuheisel from CBS. His son, I think, is the head coach.
He is the offensive coordinator.
Right,
yeah. He looks like he's about 10 years old with golden blonde hair. He looks like Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
CBS showed Neuheisel watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you
on the first touchdown, yeah.
You could see him going nuts. Like,
yeah.
Even at the end, when he's yelling at him to go for 2, Go for two, son. Go for two. Like it's great.
Yeah, they even they said on the broadcast too. We're neutral. We don't cheer for any team, but like when it's your son calling plays in his first game at a big school, he's like, we'll give him a pass on this one.
Yeah, it
was
was
the same thing. They're doing the exact same thing.
And seeing Franklin just stand there again,
and
be the last one to leave the stadium amongst boos from all the Penn State fans that were there.
We traveled across the country.
My biggest question is, and I keep checking my phone, I don't even know where it is right now, but it's right here, is I'm waiting to get the notification that he's been fired, but I'm not seeing it.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that yet.
I said just during the Brady Hoke era and about year 3. I said a Jim Harbaugh era about 2.5 years in. Maybe I was a little bit premature. And I'm going to say this right now about Penn State. If you don't fire him, you're not serious about winning. He's going to get you.
He's still the coach at the Pennsylvania State University, according to.
If you don't fire him today, you're not serious about winning.
That's the first.
And I don't want to see anybody get fired, but at some point, I'm sure he made enough money at Penn State. He's fine.
Yeah, I don't ever want to see someone that makes like 5 figures a year get fired. You know, these guys are making 7 or 8 figures, right? So if they weren't, I'm sure they're not stupid with their money. I'm sure James Franklin is a smart man. He's just not a coach that can win football games. I'm sure he's got money. If he gets fired, I'm not too worried about it.
I love listening to his press conferences when I was at Media Days a few years ago. Love listening to him speak. Seems like a real good dude to play for.
Yep.
Just not a winner.
He's just not a winner. That's all there is to it.
And having said that, you know who else is not a winner at the Power 4 level? One Mr. Luke Fickell.
That is true. That is very true.
See, that's what you call a segue in the podcast.
That was very good. That was a very good one. Very well done.
I was waiting all night to be able to do that this morning. But Luke Fickell's offense is terrible. I was at the game yesterday.
Yep.
And we were sitting there, and the guys around me, and you could hear like different comments from Wisconsin guys, and all you kept hearing was, "Are they going to do something? Are they going to do something? Are they going to do something?" God, this is awful. And I was I thought we had it bad.
Well, as Michigan fans, we've been there. We were there for a solid decade and a half at times.
Yeah.
So I feel their pain, but I don't feel sorry for them. I feel their pain for sure. I'll beat up on those teams with a good team any day of the week.
So let's get right into it. Wisconsin.
Yes.
Came in. The atmosphere outside the stadium when I was walking around and I checked out Big Noon was a lot of people were expecting a big game from Bryce Underwood. And I think it could have been one of those work coming out games. The only problem is Michigan's wide receivers decided they were going to have the dropsies.
Except for one.
And dropped a lot of
number one.
Well, except for 2. Bredesen dropped, I think, a first down wide open. Which
fullback.
I'm not going to knock him because I was going to say
we'll get into Bredesen in a little bit.
I don't even know if he has a position. He kind of plays everywhere.
Yeah. He wears 44 like Dallas Clark, so he's maybe kind of a tight end / fullback / whatever. But we'll get it. I want to get into Bredesen in a little bit. But before we do, I want to congratulate you on our score prediction because you were by far the closest. You had 34-13. I had 49-17. So you won the score prediction from last week.
Well, that's 2 weeks in a row.
Well, Buckeye Steve won last week. You got a closest score, but you had the wrong winner last week.
Yeah, but it's just about closest score. We're not
2 weeks
playing.
ago. 2 weeks ago.
Yes. But
we're
anyways,
not.
Yeah,
that doesn't count. The winner doesn't count. Okay.
Samaje Morgan.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of his.
He's been around a long time.
You got to stop throwing the ball. If you want to use him in sweeps and these little 2-yard passes, that's fine.
He did a great job missing, like not losing 8 yards and gaining about 8 on one of the sweeps.
Yeah,
with his feet, but the ball was given to him. So there's the difference in the play right there, I believe.
Like he dropped 2 balls that I think it was 2 that he has to catch.
Yeah.
Now the good news, Donovan McCulley.
Yeah. Breakout game.
6 receptions, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. And that 1 catch he made to get his foot in.
Yeah, that was the first play, play of his big breakout to keep his foot in. On the broadcast, they slowed it down and they're like, "Oh, whoa, that foot's in bounds."
And the other breakout, and I think he's gonna be a future star, Andrew Marsh.
Yeah, you're
4
absolutely
for 4.
right.
Targeted 4 times, caught all 4 passes. He had that 1 crazy catch down the sideline, I believe, in the first half.
Yep.
Even the press box at one point when he made that catch, everybody kind of turned and looked at each other and were like,
"Whoa.
Why wasn't he on the field more often?" And even in the press conference after, I tweeted it out that even Sharon Moore said that he's earned the trust and he believes he's going to continue to earn it moving forward. So I think we're going to see a lot of big things from Andrew Marsh.
Well, that might have just been the answer to the question of everybody in the press box right there, is that he hadn't earned the trust in practice, and maybe the coaches hadn't seen it yet. And he came out and he had a great game.
The way he described it was, it wasn't, at some point it just clicks. And he started clicking his fingers. He goes in for Marsh. It started last week, and then this week it just went. Where he didn't have to think, he could just do the plays.
Yep.
I think between him and McCulley, that this passing game,
we might have a duo now.
It's going to start to elevate.
Yep. It's only going to make Underwood look way better, obviously. But what were your thoughts on Wisconsin's first offensive possession to start the game off?
Well, I think it looked really good.
It did.
And
or we looked really bad.
Yeah, and there was a lot of, it looked like almost missed assignments where guys were wide open.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were blitzing their. I think the goal of that first defensive possession was to blitz their quarterback, and then they were just leaving the middle of the field wide open. All the 2 of the 3 linebackers were consistently blitzing, and they were just leaving the middle of the field wide open, and they were just dumping it off over the middle or hitting a cross route, or going right up the middle, and the pocket would collapse, but the running back was already off to the races. So I think that was a big part of it. But it was more like Wisconsin, kind of old school Wisconsin football, which this Wisconsin team hasn't been playing much of. But their O-line is big, and their O-line played well in that first possession and throughout the game too.
And you got to give a 3rd string quarterback starting.
Yeah, that's why they were blitzing.
Yeah, out of nowhere, and he had an excellent first drive.
100%. And I beating around I don't think we should. This was a very close to being a very closer game than what it was. There's a few plays here and there that Wisconsin missed that could have been, if they were successful in getting those plays, this game could have been much closer.
Well, yeah, look, going into late in the third, it was only 10. Was it 10?
10-7.
10-7, yeah. And Wisconsin went, the first drive, they go 12 plays. The second drive, it's 6. Then they go 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3 with an interception, 3,
Wisconsin,
and then finally 13 with the field goal. So the 2 drives they actually scored points with, they ran over 8 plays. It's just that every other play was 6 or less.
Yeah, every other series. I think their punter had 10 or 9 punts in the game.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But Michigan didn't play perfect, but it just seemed every time they did have answers for when they didn't play perfect. You know, and when it was 10-7 and Wisconsin couldn't score, I don't know if I have a stat for it, which I don't. So I do know I do not have a stat for it, but that's when I started to get the gut feeling that, like, okay, Wisconsin can't score. So even though Michigan is only up by 3 right now, I'm starting to get the feeling that Michigan's going to start to roll here at some point and have some sort of breakout plays. And then they ended up starting to do that. And that's where we go back to Max Bredesen, because on those Justice Haynes runs in the first to score the first Michigan touchdown, on the breakout run by Haynes, he had a great block. He came right up through the middle of the line, which opened up that giant hole to get him down to the 5-yard line. And then on his touchdown run, he ran out just ahead of him as almost like a true fullback and just got enough of the Wisconsin linebacker to make sure no one touched Haynes as he crossed the goal line.
Like, let's Haynes is emerging as one of the best running backs in the country, if not the best running back in the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
117 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he had 17 carries. Like,
he's the first guy since Denard Robinson in 2010 to have his first 5 games all over 100 yards rushing.
19 carries, averaging 6.2 yards in this game. Like, the kid's a beast, and he looks like, and he looks like a beast when you see him in person. Like, he's just
thick.
He's thick. I don't even know how to describe him. He just looks like a freak, but in a good way. Like, he looks like a football player.
Yeah, Mark Ingram interviewed him in the Big Noon pregame, and because they're both Alabama running backs, they both wear 22. He was upset when he left Alabama. Ingram was, but he loves watching him play, and he says he still plays like an Alabama running back, which I think someone on this podcast said last week or the week before. But it's fun to watch him play. He's getting so many opportunities with so many holes to go through. He was shut down a little bit on that 4th and 1 play. Wisconsin got to him. So, like, he is the best running back in the Big Ten for sure. But maybe, like, he's emerging, like you said. He is a stud. I haven't seen him in person like you have, but it's nice to have him on the team, and it's really nice to have a consistent ground game to help out our true freshman quarterback.
No, and I'll be honest with you, I'm going to stop calling Bryce Underwood a true freshman quarterback. I'm going to take the words of Arbor Meyer. It is now we're going into game 6. No longer a true freshman quarterback. But even he said, like, he's becoming more of a vocal leader, the players are saying, Underwood. And I think having a guy like Hayes, who's also seems like a vocal leader, I think in the Oklahoma game, that's why you've seen that. That's why you've seen that back and forth between them two. It's very good for this offense.
That's true. Well, the numbers don't lie.
And guys like Marsh coming along, if we can get this passing game where it's at least that consistent, 68% Underwood threw for. 68%. I think going into the game, he was around 57.5%, 58%, depending on where I looked and depending on where they counted as a drop or not.
Yeah. Well, and this wasn't a cupcake either.
And
Wisconsin's defense played really good.
Well, I think we've learned over the last 2 weeks between Florida State and now Penn State, the minute you think you're playing a cupcake, you're going to lose.
Yep. The Nittany Lions learned that yesterday.
And Florida State learned it the week before.
Yep.
So Michigan went in. I think the first 2.5 quarters weren't the prettiest, and you could see the struggles on offense. But at the end of the day, they walked out with a win.
Yep.
They
slowly did chip away, though, right? They chipped away at Wisconsin.
They didn't cover the 16.5. But at the end of the day, who cares? You still won.
Yeah, I didn't make a bet, so I don't care.
And what I liked was you're starting to see the passing game. The question is, now, can we get to UCLA, use both, and get a win? If
we
they
better.
can go to not UCLA, USC this week coming up, we can use both the passing and the running game and have a very balanced offense where the USC defense, which I don't think is, I think it's better than last year, but it's still not where it should be.
Right.
We could have a big game. Wisconsin's defense is not bad.
No, it's not. They proved it yesterday. We might have had some drops, and we might have had some misplays, a fumble on 4th and 2, stuff like that. It all makes Wisconsin's defense look better. But at the end of the day, that the defense can cause plays without actually causing them to, like, it can get in the head of the offense, right? Like, we got to worry about this, that, and the other guy. And I think that a lot of low snaps too from both Michigan's center and long snapper. That needs to be worked on this week, big time. But like you said, we chipped away at that Wisconsin defense, and we did come away with the win. So that is all that matters. But that's going to be on film. All those mistakes are on film for USC this week. So they really need to address that in practice.
I think the offensive line didn't have their best game. I think they did their enough, but
that's where you have to bring Brennison in. That's where guys like Brennison really make the offensive line better.
There's a lot of things to work on, and you can even see it more in the press conference, at least to me. He said something like it wasn't we ran for 175 yards. We had over 400 yards of offense, and if we make a couple more plays, this has a different feeling. But it's not up to our expectations.
Sure.
So I think he even understood, the game on, if you go by the numbers, okay, like 445 yards of offense to 252, 270 to 177, 175 to 75 rushing, 1 penalty for 10 yards, 5 for 35 for Wisconsin, 19 first downs to 13, 5 for 12 on 3rd down, terrible for Michigan, 4 for 14, terrible for Wisconsin. Total plays.
What was Wisconsin's rushing yards?
75.
We won the rushing battle. We won the football game.
Average yards of play, 4.4 or 7.2. So when you look at the stats, you're like, oh, Michigan had a great game. It wasn't like that.
Yep.
And I think even
just couldn't get to the end zone.
And what I really liked about Moore was it wasn't like he came in there and was like, yeah, we did this, we did that, we got the win. He's like, we're going to give these guys time to celebrate. It's hard to win every Saturday. Not knowing that we were going to win this Franklin pooping the bed. Which, just to jump off topic fast, did you see they were showing it at the shoe before the Ohio State game and the Ohio State coaches were watching it? I seen that this morning. I was like, that's awesome. They were watching the last play. But anyways, I'll
look that up after we get off.
I really like the fact, like, he came into the press conference. He understood, like, there was drops. There was things they did wrong. There's a lot of work to do. But he also understood they still won the game, right? So he can't come in there and be like, oh, we won. We're gonna destroy these guys. No.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of guys ask a lot of the hard questions, like, do you think the drops? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? They were asking difficult questions, and I think he was answering them pretty honestly about the offensive line. They do still have injuries on it, and it should get better. Yep. The passing game, I think you're going to start seeing.
Secondary still young.
Yeah. The secondary, this guy.
Yep.
Is going to be the difference maker. This guy right here is going to be the difference maker.
Well, he was yesterday.
I think what you have that back there, and this is just me, is you almost have like, I'm going to call it a daycare, but I don't mean it like that. You have a lot of young guys, and you have one or two older guys.
Yep.
Rod Moore playing the full game, which he finally says that last week against Nebraska, he still had a little bit of pain. This was the first game, pain-free, INT. He says he should have had a couple more, which he very well could have, but let's get the rust off.
Take it.
His family looks super excited to see him back when they were at the press conference, which they should be. Year and a half off, had setbacks, made it back.
Months. Holy.
The coaching staff, or at least more, when he walked in, like you could see like just the love they have for this guy. Even the other players, like to have him back on the field, not just coaching from the sideline. Like he was
a sigh of relief, right? Like, oh, thank God.
He was a captain. People forget he was a captain last year when they knew he was going to be out for the year.
Yeah.
And they still voted him a captain. Like that's huge. That's huge for a guy like that, right?
Yep. Keeps him involved too. Keeps his head in. Keeps his mind in the game. It also, I don't think he said this, but someone else had said this in the past. Where when you stay with the team when you're injured, your rehab is easier because you go to the meeting, you talk with the coaches, you talk with your players, you talk with your teammates, and when you go to rehab, it's a little easier instead of being like, say the guy's from California and he plays for Michigan and he goes back to California for rehab and he's not with the team. You kind of lose that motivation to not to continue your rehab, but to rehab the right way and a hard way and put 100% of yourself into it so that you can return. Because he didn't have an easy road. They thought maybe he might not play football again at one point during his rehab. That's hard to go through, especially if you're not with your team, if you're not with your coaches. So the fact that they did name him captain while he was not going to play, that had to be a big motivator for him. And it showed. It showed yesterday.
Yeah, it was, you know what? I was super excited. Like, not trying to be a fan when you're at the game, but it's hard sometimes. Like to see his family come in and how happy they were that he played and he got the interception. How happy the guys were around him that he got the interception. Like, it was awesome to see. Like, his family looked so happy just to have him up there feeling great. Like, just a young man who deserves it, right? You put in that much work.
Exactly. Put the work in and he deserves it. You're absolutely right.
And for Michigan, you know what I mean? First check mark. October is going to tell us a lot, right? Washington almost lost to Maryland yesterday. They ended up coming back. I think at one point I looked, it was 20-0 or something like that. They ended up winning, I think, 24-20. The next three games, USC.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Washington, Michigan State, right? And then October is done. Then we got, I believe, Northwestern, Purdue. No, then we go Purdue on the 1st. Northwestern, Maryland, and then Ohio State. We have to get through the month of October unscathed.
Yep.
Check mark to Michigan. They got by a bad Wisconsin team. Now we're on to USC.
Yeah.
For Wisconsin's almost at the same point where Michigan, where Penn State might have to be. At what point do you say enough's enough? Do you know what Wisconsin's next 6 games look like?
I don't even want to know. Well, I do. Let me know.
Iowa.
Okay.
The Buckeyes.
Okay.
At Oregon.
Okay.
Washington. At Indiana. Followed by at Illinois. That's their next 6 games. So they would have played every ranked Big Ten team.
Yep.
Except for USC. I think USC is still ranked at this point.
They are not right now.
So they would have played every ranked Big Ten team in a 6-week stretch.
That's tough for any team. That's tough for anyone, especially one that doesn't have even their starting or second string quarterback playing.
No.
They're rotating QBs in and out. They're playing Wildcat. They're so desperate. Yeah, Fickle probably won't have a job at the end of the season. I mean,
no, it's getting to the point where at what point do you say, like, I did an article for Mike Farrell yesterday and I actually said it in it. Wisconsin used to be one of those big powers, right? You'd come in, it'd be one of those tickets
Alvarez.
Everybody wanted. Now Wisconsin's a program where the big programs set their homecoming to.
Yeah.
You replaced Indiana and Illinois as the homecoming game. And no one wants to be there.
Yep. Nope. Yes, I don't know. I mean, it had like Michigan became that team for a while, but the Michigan brand was just so big that it never really became that bad. I mean, we went 3-9 one year. 3-9. We're never going to get rid of that stigma. You know what I mean?
We also lost that.
So I feel their pain, but at the same time, look at Michigan's blueprint, right? Like a lot of teams wouldn't have stuck with Jim Harbaugh as long as Michigan did, but he had a name to him, right? So sometimes you do have to stick with a coach or follow a similar blueprint. I don't think Wisconsin is now going to become Northwestern, you know, but they are in a slump within their. They're in an era where the fans are always going to remember it, and when they get good again, they're going to appreciate it a lot more. Because I can remember before the 4 straight losses to Ohio State from Lloyd Carr. I mean, I was a younger man then, and I had only seen success, not like only one national championship, but I had season tickets back then with my dad, and it was Michigan usually won, right? So I had just become accustomed to Michigan being a 1 or 2 loss team every year, right? Trip to the Rose Bowl every once in a while, you know what I mean? But then when the Rich Rod, Brady Hoke era hit, even though Brady went to which bowl was it?
I think the Orange Bowl. I forget.
They beat Virginia Tech, and I was like, okay, we got one back. But then we were obscure still through the first 5 years of the Harbaugh era. And now that we're good again, I appreciate it so much more. Like, I actually wake up and I'm like, okay, we might have a 1 or 2 loss season again. And now that there's a playoff, a 1 or 2 loss season is fine. Realistically, you can learn from your losses and get to the playoffs still.
Which what you just said there, I'm gonna have to give myself the from what I'm about to say. It's why you have to give Ohio State credit.
Oh, I know.
For being consistent. And it's just like, there's a face. I can't believe I had to say it.
But you're right. You can't argue with numbers. No matter how hard it is to regurgitate those words, you can't argue with numbers. That's all there is to it.
I'm not joking. Like, I think I just pooped myself as I was saying it. Like, I didn't want to say it.
I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but you can't argue with numbers.
But
you know what I mean?
You got to give Ohio State credit for being as consistent for such a long period of time. But having said that, it's still Ohio State, and let's be honest, they can't spell.
Yep, and hey, we're 4-0 in the last 4 years. That feels so good. I don't care. I don't care that we were 7-5 last year. It didn't matter after that game. I'll never forget the moment Will Howard threw the ball in the ground, and I was like, we just won. We just won. I was sitting there with my wife and kids because I didn't even want to go anywhere and watch it because I thought it was going to be – I thought they were going to do the 50 burger that they've been threatening for the last 10 years.
I was in Columbus.
Oh.
And it was pretty it's pretty cool to see before. Like, there was this vibe. We're going to put 100 on them. We're going to put 100 on them. And then after, to watch –
I would have got beat up.
To watch the city deflate. And you know what? I'm going to say this right now too. A lot of Ohio State and Michigan fans get a bad rap of being very hateful towards each other. At least the ones that were by our hotel and the ones that came in after were really cool. Me and my brother-in-law were sporting Michigan gear. A lot of guys, congratulations, nice win. There was a lot of tears from the Buckeye faithful. I thought we were going to need a boat. I thought we were going to need a boat to get out of Columbus.
A little gondola.
Yeah, it was. They were a little bit upset.
Your Italian songs.
They were a little bit upset, but at the end of the day, we got the win. Like yesterday, At the end of the day, we got the win.
But that was last year, and the 3 years prior. We need to.
Wisconsin, bad team. Offensively, a bad team.
But what the positive is out of that is
what I don't understand.
We couldn't do anything against them, and adjustments were made, and playmakers came out of this. We're going to remember this game as the Donovan McCulley game.
No, I think we're going to remember this game as the Andrew Marsh game.
Cool. I'll take either one.
Where he earned the playing time. And I love the fact things said in the press conference. He's been working at it, and he's earned it, and he believes he's going to keep earning it. And to me, at least to me, what I took out of that is you're going to see him a lot more than you're going to see the other guys. And I forget who just left, a wide receiver, actually one of the Moors, just left. And I think that's why I think he even seen the writing on the wall that his playing time was now gone because the freshman's going to take it.
Yeah. The fact that he's a freshman, boom. 3 years with Underwood.
And he said him and Underwood have been building a good relationship. You could see the relationship building with McCulley even at the press conference where they were sitting there. So between those three, I think there's going to be a better passing game. And I think you've seen it. Underwood, what did he have? 270?
I believe so.
270, 19 for 28. And there was a number of drops. Even more said it in the press conference. That could have easily been a 300-yard game. If one or two of those balls get caught. Especially I think the Samaj Morgan drop where he had no one around him. He catches that, he turns, he's gone for another 30.
And there's your 300 yards.
But all in all, not the best game, but it's hard to not take a win. And I think that's what I'm going to take out of it is a win.
Well, that's what we have to. That's the goal of the game. But you always have to. I mean, the coaches know this, and people who watch football and any sport know this. You come away with a win. It's the past now, man. It's USC now. We look forward. The whole Bill Belichick. We're on to Cincinnati. Yeah. We just need to get to.
I have to give my uncle a shout out. He's listening and he's giving me poop for not saying a shout out to Zio. Alex.
I see that.
Always a big
shout out.
Fan. I got to give him a shout out, big Michigan fan. But yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of. Klein only got targeted, I think, 2 or 3 times, which I'm fine with.
Dropped one.
Yes. So he had 5 targets, 2 catches. 1 was a drop. That's fine. If he can get back into what we've seen, I think it was in the first game.
Yep.
And now you have McCulley and you have Marsh playing. If Hogan can come back and be what I think he can be and be 100% healthy, because he played 1 game, then he's out. I don't think he's completely healthy yet. You could play with 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers that give you the deep threat and that can come up and make a catch in the slot. Add in Hayes behind. That defense.
And Marshall.
That defense has to account for everything, right?
Yep. We
And
didn't even talk about Marshall, and he's. I mean, he didn't have a huge game, but like, he's a great secondary back.
Yeah, between Hayes and Marshall, now you're going to see a receiving game. They can't stack the box no more. Yep. I think this is when you're going to see the offensive line too start to be better.
Because they don't always just have to run block or always just have to pass block now. Their game gets mixed up.
No, and I think Wisconsin was playing a lot just to stop the run. Let's see if Underwood can beat him with his arm. And he did. 270 yards passing. That's the difference in the game, right? Underwood was able to sustain a couple drives with his arm, move him downfield, lay touchdowns, and the game was over.
Well, I think that game proved to us that we can overcome mistakes against a fairly good Big Ten defense. So do we now move on to USC predictions?
No, that will be the USC prediction will come Tuesday when we start breaking down the game Tuesday night.
Smart.
But let's do this.
Segue.
Let's do this though. You want to get into a prediction. What is your two predictions?
Okay.
Michigan AP ranking, and make sure you write these down.
Okay.
Penn State AP ranking.
What was Penn State at yesterday? 6?
I think 6, yeah. 6 or 7.
My prediction for Penn State, 17.
Okay, I'm going to go Penn State 23.
Okay, this is Kyle. Mike is 23. Okay. Michigan.
Because you had a few losses. You had a few losses, right?
I should have saved 17 for Michigan, I think. Yeah, that's true. I'll go 16 for Michigan.
I'm going to go 15.
What do you think about that?
Michigan. I'm going to go 15.
Okay,
actually, no. I'm going to go
splitting
14.
hairs there, but I think we're both on the same page.
Change it. I'm going to go 14.
14, okay.
I think this
still pretty close.
I think this is when you're going to see certain teams start getting placed in that area where when it comes time for that first playoff show, you can start placing guys where you kind of want them. And I think as long as Michigan keeps winning, and let's be honest, they haven't really played anybody besides Oklahoma yet, and they lost that game.
Mm-hmm. He was a true freshman then, though.
They're gonna keep moving up. Which
I think if
you win, you should move up.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see, because even Vanderbilt yesterday, I think they were ahead of Michigan. Yeah, they were ahead of Michigan.
They were 17, I think.
They lost 30 to 10.
Yes, yeah. It wasn't good. If Michigan beats USC next week, they're in the top 10.
Oh no, I won't go that.
That's
far.
my bold ass prediction.
Yeah. Here.
Is that bold or is that just normal?
That's what you get for that prediction. You get the Ryan Day face. Even he's like, "What are you talking about?" Like,
because there's going to be more losses, just like you said. There's going to be more losses.
Walt Disney could take what you just said and turn it into a fairy tale. It was so great. They're going to move into the top 10, beating USC. No, I think if they beat USC, you're going to see them right at that 11 mark. 11, 12, just outside of it.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe
I went fanboy there.
What kind of saved us is Washington coming back against Maryland.
Yeah.
You put them at 11. The following week, you go USC right to Washington. Washington comes from the big house. You get a nice win in that game. You're a top 10 team.
So one more week, then we'll be top 10.
Yeah. But I think you have to be both to end up in the top 10. At least.
We got to win out to be in the top 10 and stay in the top 10.
But who knows with the Ohio game? Who knows with some of these AP voters? Some of them are still voting Florida in, even though Florida just beat Texas. I was talking to a Buckeye fan yesterday, actually, Buckeye Steve.
Okay.
And I was like, what do all these losses do to your schedule? He's like, it's terrible now. Texas losing like that to Florida.
Yeah, but if they win out, they're not gonna drop from 1.
We weren't saying that. We were just saying in general, you thought these schedules, right, at the beginning of the year.
Like the strength of schedule at the end of the year.
We got this team and this team, and now you're looking at it, you're like, and this is why they need to get rid of preseason polls.
Yeah.
Because they give you this false reality of who's good and who's not.
So,
Archie Manning, one thing is certain. Archie is not his uncle's. I think we can officially say that. And it probably wasn't fair to the young kid to have the hype he did and to go into the season with people saying what they said about Heisman.
That's what we do. Look at his last name.
And he could very well develop.
Shedeur Sanders.
He could very well develop into a very good quarterback.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he's got the mindset. He's got the coaching from his family and his actual coaches. I'm sure he will.
But he's terrible right now.
He has to live up to unrealistic expectations of having 2 uncles with 2 Super Bowls, one of which is arguably the greatest quarterback ever.
And
Tom Brady.
Even yesterday we were talking about it because Woodson was around.
Yep.
And everybody knows his son projected to go to Michigan. And before the game, we were sitting there and I said, and that came up as we were eating breakfast, to be honest with you. And I said, the best thing for the kid would be not to come to Michigan. And somebody looked at me, they're like, but it's Woodson. I go, and that's why.
That's why. Just like Barry Sanders Jr. Barry Sanders' kid didn't go to Oklahoma State. He went to Stanford. He didn't make much of himself, but education from Stanford's still pretty good.
I'm like, that's a hard name to live up to.
In Ann Arbor, for sure, 100%.
Because even at seeing him at Big Noon, like Woodson, you could see the love. Like, I was walking through Chrysler heading to after the press conference, and I was seeing former players because there was a lot of them there. And the one guy I was hoping to see is Woodson, because he's the one guy, even though you're not supposed to be a fanboy, like, I don't know if I can control it not to be a fanboy.
Yeah, him and Brady, I don't know if I'd be able to control it.
Like, Woodson is, to me, the GOAT. He's the greatest I've ever seen.
Yep. I was at every one of his home games when we had tickets with my dad. It was unbelievable.
Like I said,
always knew he was going to do something.
I said it before. It was the Fab Five in Woodson. I was a Michigan fan before, but what made me fall in love with the actual university, like more than just a Michigan football fan, was the Fab Five, and then Woodson.
Yep.
Like, they made me love Ann Arbor, going to see him play, love the area. Oh, and a quick shout out to who I don't know his name. I wish I got it. My Lyft driver yesterday to get me to the stadium. One of the nicest men I've ever met. Former Michigan grad. Lived in Japan for a few years. If you happen to get this guy, great stories. Outstanding older man, retired. And when I got out, gave me the gold blue. Super nice guy. So I give a shout out to Lyft. Whoever the Lyft driver was that picked me up yesterday, outstanding.
Big shout out to the Lyft driver and Zio.
Ann Arbor was rocking yesterday.
Of course it
Like,
was.
walking up,
Big Noon.
I was either going to go to the stadium or I was going to go check out Big Noon. So I'm walking up, and you've been there 1,000 times like I have, right? So I pass Chrysler. You're seeing all the different tailgates. I'm checking out the golf course as I'm walking by. I get to that corner. You got the shop across the street. I'm like, I don't feel like going to see any merchandise.
Yeah.
And I look over, and I'm like, Big Noon's in the perfect spot where you could just cross the street, walk in, see what's going on. So I went to check it out, and it was lively. Like, Michigan fans were ready.
Or was it down north end zone, like gate 8?
No, for the pregame was in Pioneer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it was right at the street. So
Yep.
you literally, was it Main Street?
Yep.
And Stadium. So you would take Stadium maybe 100 feet.
Okay.
There was
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
entrance right there in the fence, and you go through, and it was right there. Like, it was easy to get to. Perfect spot for it. And it was hype. Like, it was good.
Well, they do a good job. They do a good job.
And I don't know if the game maybe lived up to that hype, because it was a little bit boring for the
If you like defensive football, it lived up to the hype.
for the first 2.5 quarters, but then Michigan did what they
Opened
had
it
to
up.
get the.
Yeah,
And
it
now,
chipped away.
like they say, we are on to USC.
The University of Southern California.
USC is on the clock.
Yep, and both teams are 4-1. One's ranked 20th, one's unranked. It should be a good ball game. I mean, Michigan's got to travel across the country. I hope what happened to them doesn't happen to Penn State. Hope it wasn't. I don't know if we can chalk up what happened to Penn State to jet lag, but these are pretty much professional athletes. I know they're young, but I think they'll our coaching staff will have them ready.
Can we stop with this? They got to travel. Like, I'm guessing Michigan is not, at least Michigan football is not flying coach.
No,
And it is not going through TSA checkpoints 4 hours ahead of time. I'm pretty sure they're taking a bus to Metro and walking on
to their own plane.
To their own plane. Not to a charter plane, to probably somebody's plane that has a lot of money.
For sure.
And flying to LA a couple days in advance to get used to it.
Yeah,
and
get to LAX
and thank God they didn't.
Disneyland.
And thank God they didn't do to us what they did to Michigan State with that 11 o'clock.
Oh, 11:30 or whatever. Yeah.
Oh,
because I wouldn't stay up to watch it. I wouldn't. I'd fall asleep.
8 o'clock is you know what? 7 o'clock is what, 3:30 there. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Right
it's
in
the second game of the. It's their 3:30 game.
Yeah, so perfect. Right where we should be able to play maybe our best. And I think we're gonna have we need a good week of practice. It sounds like the coaches are ready to go. Sounds like the players are ready to go. I think everybody wants that test again.
Yep.
I think they seen it with Oklahoma. I think they realized that the Nebraska game should have looked a lot better than it was.
Agreed.
And I think,
but if we keep winning 2-score football games, I'm okay with that. It doesn't have to be all this flash 52-10. I mean, like you said, that's what Ohio State does. But as long as we're winning the football game, we don't need all that. We just need to win the football game.
yeah, we got a Penn State University drops to 22. Michigan moves to 16. So that's right around you.
I said Penn State goes to 17. You said 23, and then I said 16. So
yes.
we're the same with Michigan, and he was closer to your Penn State prediction.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think everybody's ready to prove it again. I think if they can go in and they can finally play a complete game offensively.
Yep.
I think you're going to start seeing what everybody kind of hoped when the season kicked off with Underwood. I really like it's not even the yards. I don't care about the yards more. I like his completion percentage. Started to go up. And it should have been higher if some of those drops were caught.
And he did rifle a few high too. Like there were some non-drops. Like there were some incomplete passes that were on Bryce.
Oh, 100%. And
so,
I'm not saying that.
It would be higher. You're right. If people who could touch the ball caught the ball.
Yeah, like there should have been.
Bell had one rifled really high and behind him. He got his fingertips on it, but it would have been a tough catch.
You have to catch that ball. Bell's.
I know you do, but 100%. He didn't put it in a position for his receiver to make a like.
Somebody asked.
He was wide open too. It's not like he was throwing against the defense.
Somebody asked, I forget who they asked in the press conference about that. Like, how do you deal with Underwood's arm strength? And he was just like, you just got to know it's coming and be ready for it.
Yeah,
like it was like, you know it's coming and just be ready for it. Like when it comes, it's going to come. But yeah, like I think we're in a good spot right now. If we're honest, I think everybody kind of had him sitting at this record going into the USC game.
I did.
Now it's up to the coaching staff and everybody to get us past USC. Like I said, the month of October is going to make or break the season. If we can get through October unscathed, Michigan's a playoff team. And I honest to God believe that if we can get through October, we're going into to the Ohio State game 10-1.
1 loss. Yeah. And we're going to leave 11-1.
Yeah. And whoever wins that game probably plays Oregon for the Big Ten championship.
Bring them on. Let's do it.
So, but then we're going to get into that because then you got to decide if it's worth winning that game.
Yep.
See, now that's a tease because there's a lot of tickets going to go into before that last week.
Yep.
Depending how this playoff goes. But anyways, it's been an hour. I think we've taken up the people's time enough.
Yes, sir.
Today, Lions, Cincinnati. Let's go.
Cincinnati's a mess.
8:05. Tigers, game 2.
Seattle.
Come back to Comerica. Up 2-0 in a best of 5.
Yep. Well, either way, they're coming back to Comerica, with their odds on their side. It's home field advantage for them now.
No, I know, but if you can come back up 2-0.
Oh, yeah.
And remember who's pitching tonight?
Scoobs.
The
Cy Young Award winner.
Like, Comerica is going to be rocking. Downtown Detroit's going to be rocking. For everybody for a lot of people who haven't seen downtown Detroit in the last 4 or 5 years.
It's amazing.
And have this mentality that it's what it used to be. It's not. Do yourself a favor. Check it out. It is absolutely outstanding.
You don't even have to go to the game. Just go downtown. Pick a spot to go, have a seat, and have a great time.
The Baltimore, Tin Roof. There's so many places you can go.
Yep.
Jacoby's.
Ooh, I've never heard of that place.
Oh, Jacoby's Beer Market. Outstanding. It's just down the street from, and you would know this place, the Old Shillelagh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
Yes, the Old Shillelagh is still there.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, there's a ton of places to go have a drink, to eat, just an outstanding area. I know people knock Detroit because they don't realize what it's becoming, but just an outstanding city.
What those people think.
And I truly loved it. I truly love downtown Detroit. Like it's
so do I. Agreed.
But anyway, so hopefully on Tuesday we're gonna have Victory Tuesday with the Lions, Tigers. We could still celebrate the Michigan.
Talk a little USC more in depth, get some research on that, and then we can make our predictions for the week.
Now this is ending. We are on to USC.
We'll see you Tuesday.
Wolverine Nation, have a great rest of your weekend. And as always, go Blue, baby. And don't forget, when Ohio State talks, ask them to spell Ohio.